Good day, everyone. This is grade 8 tutor. I'm in the person of Ajamai Derek, and today I will be your facilitator for materials management. That is Unit 6 of operations management. So these are the needed topics we are going to go through. After the lesson, you are going to go through all these to get a better understanding of everything. So make sure that you take key notes of whatever thing that you are going to do here for you to get a better understanding. Thank you. So here you know that materials, consumables, and equipment are the lifeline of any functioning or organization or business. Yes, organization or businesses runs with materials. Those are consumables. Those are happens to have equipment. They are the lifeline. They are the ways that organization keeps on running smoothly. Are we getting the point? And here, most industries will buy materials, others transport them into the plant or assembly plant, change the materials into parts, assemble parts into finished products, and then sell and transport the product to the customer. So here you can see that it is actually the lifeline. Every organization depends on materials so that it can run its activities and its management effectively. Are we good? Great. So what then is materials? So materials include, but are not limited to only raw materials and process material, components, parts, assemblies, sub-assemblies, fuels, lubricants, coolants, cleaning agents, and small tools and accessories that may be consumed directly or indirectly. So when talk of materials, you are not only talking of those raw materials, but any form of material that makes sure that the effective running of the business becomes their top priority. That makes sure that if these things happens, if you get these materials, we can perform this operation. Even if it's the smallest material, it's also called what? Materials. You get it? So we are having raw materials. So raw materials are substances, you get it, that are used in the primary production or manufacturing of what? Goods. Are we good? Great. Hope you're getting the point. Great. So those raw material that are used in the primary production, the needed material that is used to manufacture goods, we call them what? Raw materials. Are we good? Great. So materials management is the core function of what? Supply chain management, involving the planning, execution of supply chains to meet material requirements of a company or organization. So here's the case that the organization needs what? Materials to run their what? To run their operations. The reason why is the core function because since materials is what? The lifeline of what? The organization. It becomes the core function of the supply chain management because they have to know, they have to plan the needed materials, they get the right materials for the company or the organization for them to make sure that they use those materials to run their what? Their activities. Are we good? Great. So it is a scientific technique concerned with planning, organizing, and control of flow of materials from their initial purchase to the destination. So with this materials management, it concerns where we have to purchase the material, the initial purchase, to what? The destination where it has to be what? Processed by the organization. It's either they sell it and also they transport the goods to some organization to what? To sell it. Are we good? Great. So here, sorry, it is an approach for planning, organizing, and controlling all activities, principally concerned with the flow of materials into and from the organization. So materials management concerned about planning. You are planning the needed materials needed into the organization. How you are going to make sure that you allocate those materials to their respective department. You control all of them. You get it? So you are much concerned with the in and out of what? Materials, the flow of materials in the organization or business. So materials management determine the amount of material required, held in stock, plan for the replenishment of these stocks, create inventory levels for each type of item, and communicate information and requirements to procurement and operations and the extended what? Supply chain. Are we good? So here with materials, we are interested, we are determining the amount of materials we need to hold in stock. hold the stock in the amount of material we need at the immediate what time. You get it? And also how we are going to replenish these materials after they are being used. How we have to create inventory level. That is how we have to create our level of what holding stocks. Are we good? Great. So here, materials management is very critical in the operations of organizations. Thus, it's very essential to have a materials management department organization to support management in the production activities. Since materials management or materials is what? The lifeline of the organization, it is very important to get a department who are going to be responsible that you the organization, you get the needed materials at the right time, the right place, with the right cost, with the right quantity. Are we good? So if you're having this materials management department, they are there to make sure that there's effective or efficient what allocation of resources, allocation of materials in the organization or what business. Are we good? Great. So we are going to watch a video on operations management that's concerning this for us to get a better understanding. So kindly take your time and watch this video to get a better understanding. See all these are materials management. See how they are making sure that materials are needed in the organization to make it one effective. Are we good? So as you are watching it, take notes of everything here. We are going to stop every moment from now for us to continue. So all these things, see how they are transporting the goods, making sure that the needed materials, the needed equipment for us to do it. Are we good? Effective use of what application of what materials. They are taking the stock levels. How they are managing their stocks. They are creating stock level for them to create. All these are just materialized to make sure that everything that you do, you have to get it. Thank you. So This brings us to the understanding of this materials management. So as you were watching the video, get to understand that there are some things that are very important. You'll be getting it. So the objectives and functions of materials management can be categorized in two ways. One is primary objectives, and then two is secondary objective. So the objective and the functions can be classified in these two. One is what? Primary. Second one is what? Secondary. So here, what are the primary objectives? The primary objectives is concerned with the efficient materials planning. You get it? The procuring and the receiving, storing and inventory control, supply and the distribution of what? Quality materials, quality assurance, good supply, and the customer relation. So we are going to discuss it in the next whereby, so we are talking of the category, that the primary. So we talk of what? The efficient materials plan, that is ensuring the right materials available at the right time, quantity to prevent what? Shortage and excess. Are we good? And you have the procuring and receiving, that is we are sourcing material from suppliers, ensuring what? Timely delivery, checking for quality and quantity. So these are what? The primary objective. We have the storing and inventory control, making sure that you manage warehouses effectively to optimize space and prevent what? Spoilage of what? Those stocks. And you have the supply and the distribution of materials, ensuring that materials move smoothly from suppliers to production unit and what? Finished goods to reach what? Customers. You have the quality assurance, making sure that every materials must make sure that it meets its quality level. Are we good? Great. And we have the good supply and customer relationship, building trust and collaboration with suppliers. You get it? And also customers to better what? Service and supply chain what? Efficiency. Are we good? Great. So here we move on to the secondary objective. The secondary objective is to make or buy decision. So when we think of when we think of make or buy decision, what we mean is, do we have to make the materials or we have to buy them? You get it? So to assist in product design and development, materials handling, control, quality control of materials or purchase. So this secondary objective consists of first, the to make or buy decision, to assist in product design development, materials handling, quality control of what? Material purchase. So here is it, the make or buy decision. Determine whether we have to produce the materials here in the house or what? To outsource it from suppliers. Or and also assisting in product design and development, whereby we collaborate with designers and engineers to select materials that will enhance product what? Functionality. That is the secondary objective. Materials handling is a secondary objective, whereby we are ensuring that there is a safe and efficient movement of what? Materials from within the warehouse and production facilities. Are we good? And you have the quality control of materials what? Purchase, inspecting incoming material to ensure that they meet specifications and rejecting defective what? Supplies. Yeah. So these are the related examples that you find out here. So we are talking of the primary and the secondary objective. Materials handling, assisting product design, and quality control of what? Materials what? Purchased. Are we good? So here we have the types of materials. First, we have the purchased materials, we have the work in progress, and you have the finished goods. So here, with the purchased materials, they are the raw materials or components that are used to what? To produce or to manufacture goods. So the needed raw materials, the purchased materials are the raw materials that you have sourced from suppliers. It can be in the form of components, spare parts, grease, consumables and tools. They are all purchased materials. Are we good? And the work in progress materials are the semi-finished parts and component lying in the shop floor. So in case you are manufacturing a table, it will get to a point that you are not done. So where the point that you have reached, in as much that you have started, we call it what? The semi-finished part. Are we good? And we have the finished goods. The finished goods, they are the final product in stores, which are stocked for final delivery, waiting to sell. So finished goods, you see those final products that you are seeing in stores that are ready to and that are ready to be sold to what? To customers. Those are the finished what? Goods. Are we good? So we have the aim of materials management. We have the 5R. The aims of why and what are we aiming as we are pursuing on materials management. Hope you are getting the point. Great. So here we have the 5Rs: the right material quantity, the right quantity of supplies at the right time, the right space, and the right cost. So we are going to talk about these one after the other to get a better understanding of them. Okay, great. So then, the right time. That is, you have to obtain materials at the right time to meet supplier and production demand. At the right time to meet supply and production demand is crucial for any organization. So here, obtaining the right materials is very important, because if you obtain it at the right time, it will help us to know, to speed up our process, to know how we can store up our inventory. You get it? So here's the case. We know, okay, if you store up this inventory and then when we reorder, we are going to get it at this time. Are we good? Yes. So you have to, as a materials manager, you have to achieve the right time, making sure that materials are supplied or given to the organization at the right time needed to what? To manufacture or produce. Are we good? You have the right material. It is not any material that you have to purchase. You have to purchase the right one, pertaining to quantity and quality. Hope you get it. So we are having the quality necessary at the time, because we are not just purchasing any material, but we have to get the right material. In case we need maybe materials like rice to prepare something, you can't just go and then bring us oil. No, we must purchase the right material needed at the necessary time. Are we good? Great. We have the right quantity. That is, procuring goods in sufficient quantity that will help us, the organization, to achieve our manufactured expected number of units. So it's either it become the right time, the right material, the right quantity, meaning that the needed quantity that are required to make sure that you'll be able to produce whatever that you want to produce. Are we good? Great. And then we have the right cost as an aim of what? Materials management. We are not just sourcing materials for nothing, but we must make sure that we get the most cost-effective one. I hope you're getting it. Sourcing or securing material at reasonable and affordable price. So we have to minimize procurement cost as an effective way to increase the profit. So if you get lower cost of raw materials, you'll be able to price your product in a way that you get the higher profit. Are we good? So we are not just purchasing, but we have to purchase at the right cost or price. Are we getting an understanding? Great. The right sources. The right sources is like, it is important to procure materials from the right source for achieving consistent results. So the right source means that people that you can depend on them, that they are going to supply, they are going to deliver the materials to you in terms of quality and quantity. So you have to get the right source, people that can supply you, people that the organization or the source that you can depend on them. So these are the aims. That is what we want to achieve as a materials management. The right source, the right time, the right cost, the right quantity. Are we good? Great. And then we move on to the importance of materials management. Why is materials management important? One, constant supply of raw materials to continue on production. Without materials management, how can we, or how are we able to know that this is the level of goods that we need for us to produce? This is the maximum level, the minimum level of stock or materials needed for us to produce it. Are we good? Great. We have the minimized cost of production to increase profit. Yes, materials management help us to make sure that we purchase or secure materials at the right cost. That will help us to minimize production costs in order to increase our profits. We have the buy better quality items at the most competitive price. Yes, materials management get the right quantity, the right quality, making sure that we are not just buying the materials, but we are buying quality materials at competitive price that will be acceptable, so that we'll be able to price our products in order to get what? Profit. Are we good? Great. And then we have what? The material cost content of total cost is kept. So we have also the equipment is properly utilized because there are no breakdowns due to late supply of what? Material. Of course, the equipment in organization effectively will utilize, because if it's the case that materials are being delayed, yes, that you have to stop, you have to stop producing, you have to wait for this for it to come. No, but if you're having a proper material management, every time equipment are properly utilized, because we know that after this, that is what goes next. That is what comes into it. Are we good? Great. And then we have what? The wastage of what? Material at the stage of storage as well as their movement is kept under control, of course. When we successfully plan how we are going to manage our materials, we can be able to what? To make sure that we have a level of storage that we can meet. We can be able to achieve some minimum waste. We don't have to what? Increasing the way, because we have properly what? Manage our materials. How we are going to keep levels of stock. How we are going to what? Make sure that these levels of stock are being sold out. It helps to reduce what? Waste. Investment of materials are kept under control. Congestion in stores and different stages of manufacturing is avoided. Congestion is where the place or the warehouse is overcrowded or the stores is overcrowded. With proper materials management, the stores become what? Spacious to accommodate. Are we good? Great. So, concepts in materials management, the main sources of uncertainty which inventory management has to deal with are demand and lead time. You see, with the materials management, always we face uncertainty. These are the two main, the demand and lead time. You see, at times the demand. You see, at times there will be a time that you can sell this. There will be a time that sales can shoot up. There will be a time that sales can be low. You get it? So sometimes it becomes very difficult because of demand. How customer demands. It becomes very difficult to effectively what? Manage your materials. Because at times you get people buying this your product at this season, and another time it goes low. You get it? And the lead time talks of the number of days that it takes for your goods that you have pre-ordered to be ready for use. Sometimes if you are waiting on the supplier to retain the goods that you have ordered to them, there are some times that things can happen. You see, when all these things happen, it becomes very difficult to decide how much we should keep here. You get it? Because uncertainty, we are living in a world of uncertainties. So in as much that you want everything to be perfect, you have to plan for what? Uncertainty, because uncertainties do happen. Are we good? Great. Then the concept in these materials help us to note how much to order, when to order, what to order. You have to take note of this. How much to order, when to order, and then what to order. Are we good? Great. So here, cost may play a role when ordering and storing goods. So whilst you are ordering and storing goods, there are associated costs that can play a role in it. Are you good? You have the ordering cost. So in case you want to order something, the telephone costs, the documents you have to sign and everything, the printing, they are all ordering costs. The costs associated as you are ordering goods. You get it? So sometimes the cost made up internally is called the setup cost. Are we good? And you have the purchasing cost. So the purchasing cost, the variable cost associated with purchasing a single unit. So in case what you are purchasing from your suppliers, maybe a t-shirt is what? A single unit is what? 40 cedis. So purchasing 10 units or 10 t-shirts will give a purchasing cost of what? 400. Are we good? Yes. So this is how we are going to go about the purchasing. That is the price or the variable cost associated with the price of what? Per unit of a particular what? Item. The holding cost. The variable cost of holding a single unit of good. Hope you are good. So all the goods that you find yourself to order or to store, the holding cost, the cost of holding what? A single unit is what we term as what? Holding cost. But handling cost, how goods are being what? Handled in the organization. The cost associated. So in case you want some people to transfer these goods to you, how they handle it. You calling out where laborers to come and make sure that they transfer this your goods to this particular site for you is what handling costs. The costs associated with the handling of goods in the warehouse, the movement of goods in the warehouse. Are we good? Great. We have the shipping cost, the cost associated with the transport of goods from one stocking point to another. I hope you are getting the point. Yes. So the cost associated as you are transferring the goods from one point to another. At times, sometimes when you are transferring your goods in a ship, it happens to be that uncertainty comes whereby some of your containers or some of your goods might fall in the sea. Are you good? Yes. We have the stock out. The stock out in case of block lock of demand. That is, in case demand becomes extra. The cost associated with the administration and the later delivery of goods. In case goods runs out when demand goes up. You get it? So when demand goes out, when your goods run, the cost that you undertake in order to make sure that goods are made available to your customers at demand. You get it? You have the management cost, the cost incurred by keeping track of inventory levels by computing order quantities. So in as much that you are storing your inventory or you are storing your goods, the management cost, people that are being there, the laborers that are being there to work to manage your quantities, you are expected to pay them. Hope you get it. So as you are storing your goods, you are performing or you are incurring management because people or workers have to make sure that they manage or they oversee your goods for you. Are we good? Great. So here we look at the video of what? Materials management. Then we are good to go. We continue with some other part, then we get the understanding.
From bikes to miles of conveyor belts, there's a lot of ways to get around this massive 1.2 million square foot fulfillment center in Phoenix, Arizona. That's the size of 28 football fields. Over 15 million items are stocked in this facility every day, and the endless rows of jumbled consumer goods looks like there's no method to this mind-blowing madness. But Amazon spokesperson Ashley Robinson told me that's definitely not the case.
That process is called random stow, and what will happen is the associates will look for places that that particular item will fit into a bin, and it doesn't necessarily have to be next to the same item. We prefer it to be very random.
You got that right. I found this power juicer stored next to some Dial soap, followed by this huge tub of Big League bubblegum. With over 2,000 full-time employees at this facility, online shoppers who click buy immediately alert handheld technology scanners that tells associates where to retrieve the product and then uses an algorithm to send employees to the most optimal next item to be picked. But if you think that's impressive, Amazon's busiest employees are actually their Kiva robots.
Their strength is equivalent with an NFL linebacker. They weigh over 300 pounds and they can lift up to 750 pounds. In a fulfillment center where we handle larger items, those particular robots can lift up to 3,000 pounds.
Now the products travel in these yellow boxes called totes through 8 miles of sky-high conveyor belts until they reach another incredible technology called the SLAM line, which stands for shipping, labeling, and manifesting. This bad boy actually already knows how much your product should weigh before it ships.
So if it sees that the book you ordered is not weighing as much as it should within the computer system, it will kick off that item to the side and an associate will pick it up and address it and make sure that the right item is sent out the door.
Now it's finally time for the packages to head out the door and ship to your door. The boxes are pushed down metal chutes that are separated according to shipping preference. Workers are then challenged to a game of Tetris as they have to pack the items tightly together, wasting no space.
Thank you very much. So this house, as you can see how materials were being managed in the warehouse, the movements of them. You get it? Great. So here we move on to inventory. What do you mean by inventory? Those stocks or items used to support production. So those stocks that you have been seeing in the organization that is used to support production, we are calling what? Inventory. So they can be what? Raw materials, work in progress items, supporting activity that are maintenance, repair, operating supplies, and customer service. So inventory, they are the goods available for sale, and raw material used to produce goods available for sale. So those raw materials and the actual goods available for sale, we can call them to inventory. So inventory is the array of finished goods or goods used in production held by the company. So the goods that are being used by the company or the finished goods that are being produced by the company, as they have held those goods, we call them to go inventory. So the goods and material that a business holds for an ultimate goal for resale, production, or utilization is called what? Inventory. So if a company or if an organization hold or holds what? Stock or goods on hold for particular purpose for production or resale or for utilization is what? Inventory. Are we good? So with the types of inventory, you have inventory on hand. That is the number of units actually present at the stocking point. So we're going to talk of inventory on hand, the number of units that you have at that particular point. So in case you're an organization, you produce, or a business that you produce maybe Sobolo, and then we ask you, what is your inventory at hand? What are the materials that you have at hand on that particular time? What are the materials that you have at that stocking point? Or you have maybe 1,000 bottles here, you have these things here, we call them what? Inventory on hand. Are we good? We have the net inventory, that is the inventory on hand minus the amount of backlog rather. That is the current stock balance less allocated or reserved items. So the item that you have reserved in case there is stock out, or maybe goods or maybe materials are being stocked out, minus what? The actual stock that you have is what we have to be called the net inventory. You have the inventory position. Now the net stock plus the number of units on order but not yet delivered. So inventory position is the net stock that you have, and then the number of units that you have ordered but it hasn't yet been delivered. That is what we call the inventory position. What do you mean by the safety stock? Is the quantity used as a protection against uncertainty. So in case there is a safety to in case there is a quantity that is being there, in case maybe uncertainty comes, we have this quantity to cater for these uncertainties. We call them what? Safety what? Stock. So here we are going to talk of this economic order quantity model. With this economic order quantity model, this is the most economic approach to decide how much of a particular item to order when stock needs replenishing is called what? Economic order quantity. That is the number of items that we have to order in case that our stock needs to be replenished. That is when we use the economic order quantity model approach. You get it? So it is used but has a number of straight and important assumptions. So the assumption is first, it's only one product is involved, of course. Demand is known and constant. Lead time is known and constant. Purchase cost per unit is known and constant throughout the year. Stock holding is known and constant. Stock ordering is known and constant. Replenish is made instantaneously. That is, the whole batch is delivered at once. Stock outs are not allowed. Are we good? So here become the assumptions. So let's take note of these assumptions as we are learning. So these are the things you have to take note of it. The mathematical equation of it. You get it? So here we are going to make a video on how to calculate for economic order quantity for us to get a better understanding. Since it's what? Mathematics what? Since it's mathematical calculations. Are we good? We are going to deal with this later. So we want to finish with the reading aspect, then we are good to go. So here we are going to discuss everything in another video, discussing how to go about economic order what? Quantity. Are we good? Great. So here, there's all the example. We are going to treat all of them in another video. So here, let's move on to the ABC analysis. So when we call of the ABC analysis, that is the always better control, how you are controlling what? Your stocks. So it is an inventory categorization method which classified inventory into three distinct categories. That is A, B, C, based on revenue generation. So we are categorizing inventory that we have based on the revenue that we are going to get out of that inventory. We categorize them in what? The ABC analysis. You get it? So the ABC inventory helps businesses identify the essential product in stock and prioritize their management based on the value. So in case you have a whole lot of stocks as an organization, we want to what? categorize them in terms of their value there, in terms of what the revenue that are going to generate from them. That's when we form them into an ABC. Are we good? Great. So with the ABC is therefore an inventory categorization method which consists in dividing items into three words category. That is always, better, control. That is a base, cost, or value criteria. You get it? So the ABC analysis is mainly based on the theory that all inventories cannot have similar or equal what value. Of course, all inventories that you are having as an organization or business, they don't have the same value. You get it? So you have to group them, you have to categorize them in A, B, C to know the value for A, for the value for B, the value for C, the revenue generation for A, B, and C. Are we good? Great. So with A items are goods whose annual consumption value is the highest. The top 70 to 80% of the annual consumption value of the company typically accounts for only 10 or 20% of total inventory items. So with these items A, they are the items that are their annual consumption value is highest. Yes, in case you're having laptops, although you see the value of a laptop is highest, so their annual consumption value is high, but their inventory stock level is low because we don't normally keep more of them as an inventory. We keep a required number. Okay? So those A items, they are few, but they have what's high value. They have their value is high. You get it? And their annual consumption is 70 to 80%. And their inventory levels is 10 to 20%. Are we good? So we don't normally keep these items in bulk, or you don't have to be restocking more of them. No, you keep little here, little there. Are we good? So this category inventory must have tight control. Yes, rigid estimate of requirement, straight and closer. So these stocks, they pay key attention. So in case you are in an organization, you have various items or inventory. There are some inventory that, or there are some items that your eyes are on it because of the value they carry. So any slight mistake that happens to it, if not so, you have incurred the costs. Are we good? Great. So here we are done with what the A items. Then we move on to what? B items. So with B items, they are the interclass items within a medium consumption value. Though that is 15 to 25% of annual consumption value. Typically account for 30% of total inventory items. So normally these items, we normally keep them. We normally stock moderate or medium items inside. And then here their consumption value is very low. The value that they will give to you, the organization, is very low. You get it? But in as manner is very low, we don't stock less. We stock a moderate or a middle moderate one. Hope you are getting the point. So this must have moderate control, purchase based on rigid requirements. So you have to purchase these items on rigid requirements. Are we good? Based on the demand of customers. Are we good? Great. So here we have the C items. So the C items, on the contrary, items with the lowest consumption value. The lower, that is 5% of the annual consumption value, typically accounts for 50% of total inventory items. So the value is like toffee. So if you're an organization and if you are operating maybe in a provision store and you are selling toffees, you see the value that they give is low, but you keep on stocking more. You get it? Yeah. So you normally stock for 50% of the inventory items. Hope you're getting the point. Yes. So this is all about the ABC analysis. The most value goes, the most valued goods, that's for A. The middle value goods and the less value that's for C. Are we good? Great. So we are having all these here. The A product include category A, one of the most important stock items having the highest value. Are we good? And then the smallest category with minimal product, even though with its highest value, we don't stock more. The same that's for B also. B is basically a middle level category in which products of slightly higher value. So it's not much of higher value, but slightly higher value, and then less tightly controlled goods are recorded. Are we good? Yes. But with the typically for C, it's a general category that contains the largest volume of inventory. Yes. And then the least value in terms of generating business revenue. Of course, like Toffice, you generate, or maybe you sell out more, or you stock in more for Toffice, but the revenue it gives to you as a business, one Toffice is 50%. They can't be selling every day 50%. It's low. But you have high what goods like goods in items A, although they are small in stock, but when someone purchases it, you get what maximum what revenue. Are we good? Great. So here, these are advantages of the ABC analysis. That is, focusing on a category helps the manager to be able to control inventory and show visible results in short span of what time. So controlling A is what? And doing a proper inventory analysis, absolute stocks are automatically pinpointed. So it's like with A analysis, you make sure that yes, with its importance and value, you don't stock out anyhow. You don't stock in anyhow. You don't value it anyhow. You value it preciously. Are we good? So strategic resource allocation, that is ABC analysis, is a way to what? Continuously evaluate resource allocation to ensure that class A items align with customer demand. You get it? So at times with this ABC analysis, it helps us to know that, okay, these are the demand of these customers. So let me stock in these goods for A. Let me stock in these goods for B and C as well. Are we good? Great. And then you have better customer service. If you're able to categorize your goods in this ABC analysis, it helps you to provide a good customer, because you always know, okay, these customers, they always come for these B items. You get it? So you make sure that you provide the right quantity, the right quality for them. Are we good? And control over high cost items. Class A inventory is closely tied to company success. That is, at times these class A items, whereby those value goods, in case someone even comes and buy one of them, the amount of revenue you get out of just one A item has been bought, you get it, it's very high than B and C. So because of this, they prioritize making sure that they monitor those A items, and they make sure that they are in health, they are in what? Good health. You get it? Because in any slight mistake that happens, in as manner you have not sold out that good, you have even incurred what? A big what? Loss, because of the value it carries. Are we good? Great. So we have reduced storage expenses, simplify supply chain management. Yeah, so we have the ABC analysis in summary. That's percentage of items, percentage value of annual usage. So class A, percentage of items that we keep is 20%. And by its annual usage is 80%. The value that it brings is 80% of what? The company's what? Revenue. But class B items, we keep 30% of the items, but it brings about 15% value to we, the business or the organization. You get it? Class C items also, we talk about 50% of it, but it brings about 5% what value to the organization. Are we good? Great. So here, there's the ABC analysis calculation. Here, we have a mathematical aspect about it, which will help us to gain a proper understanding of it. So here, we are also going to make a videos on it, on how to go about them to get a better understanding. So don't worry, we are going to treat all these in order. So if we are going to treat first the economic order quantity, and also what? The ABC analysis what? As well. So don't worry, relax, just sit down and relax. With A tutor is therefore we are going to explain all these for you to get a better understanding. So this brings us to the end of our lesson for this lecture, and this is grade A tutor, and I am in the person of Ajimain Derek. I was your facilitator for this lecture. Make sure that you don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share this video to your friend of yours, a coursemate, a colleague, to get a better understanding of this course. See you in the next video with the calculation for the economic order quantity and also for the ABC analysis. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.